Now we're going to learn more about making patterns. This is pattern 101, which is an address list E plus 0. We made this pattern in the first pattern video. We did not go over all the possibilities. First of all, we didn't show that we could click on fill and see what it's going to look like as a filled polygon. We also didn't go over these numbers in the columns here. The position of this white dot is in the center of the drawing field. Its address is 500, 500. Right now, this yellow dot here is at 470, 408. In other words, 470 is less than 500, so it's this direction. The 408 is the Y direction. It's less, so it's also up this way. So that's the position of this yellow dot in respect to this point 500, 500. So here, this is at 470, 408. The last one is at 449, 447. Now I'll pick one of the points that has a pattern related to it. This point is the ending point of this line, and there is a pattern placed there. Its address is 530, 409. Alright, this is X500, 530. This is Y500, but it's up this way, so it's 409. This 1 means that there's a pattern. The 105 means it's this particular pattern. 82 is the size. If I click here on the size, you'll see it says 82. You can change the size, put it back to 82. Also, we didn't go over the fact that what if you didn't want to have a pattern there? You could come over here, here, where it says none, and take away that pattern. You also could go as far as taking away the entire line by clicking over here on delete. Now you notice that line has gone away and the pattern has changed, and not only doesn't have the other pattern, the dot has totally gone away. The dot used to be here. Well, that dot doesn't exist anymore, so now the line goes to here. Well, let's put it back. We also didn't know last time that we could click here, insert above the highlighted. Previously, we always inserted below because we were going down the list. Now the line that was taken away was above this one, so we want to insert above there. Right away it shows it doesn't know where that point is. It's in outer space. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back now. Well, it used to be right here. But now there's just a line there. So now we got to go back and say, well, there's supposed to be a pattern there. Supposed to be of size 82. And pattern number. Notice it shows all the patterns that it knows. Pattern 105. So it put 105 there. Now, other things that we could do is change whether it is inward or outward. You can put it either way. You don't have to draw the pattern two different ways. You can just put it inward facing or outward facing. Notice that when I change it, this number changes. changes between a 1 and a 2. Notice that. We want it to stay being a 1. Now I've made another pattern, and to go to that pattern, I don't click Done, I just click on Pattern. And I'm going to go to this new pattern, 126. Here's pattern 126. It's the shape of a heart. Over here are all the positions in the heart. First one is 442, 340, but we really can't see where it's at. And that's because the very last position is also 442, 340. So I'm going to click on it and move it just a little bit out of the way. So now you can see at that position there's a red and a yellow marker. And if I go to the top, it'll show me that one. If I go to the bottom, it shows me the other one. The reason they're on top of each other, and I'm going to put them back that way, it's because I want the polygon to be complete. It says here I don't have it exactly on top of it. Well, that's close enough. It says 239 down here. It says 339 up here. It says 340. That'll be close enough. Now we know we can fill it in. There's what it looks like filled in. We're not going to attach anything to it. But what we're going to do now is go look at the program that I made that contains the heart. This is tab 28 of subprogram 1 of the program called Basics. In here we see it says make the dots for a polygon from the pattern at list F0. That is where our new pattern is at. We can go back and see. List F, very first one. We click on it. It says that's pattern 126. It's at list F0. Now we go back there again. So here it says to put the dots for our polygon, start them. That's what the S means. Start the list. And put in it pattern at list F. Then it changes the size, changes the position a little bit, and then it says dot add list F. Well, we know list F is a heart. We know the size went to 80. Had it originally been 150, well, then the heart is big. But down here it got reduced to 80, so it's going to be a smaller heart, and its center is going to be at 321 instead of up here where it was at 300. But when we go to execute this, we don't see the other heart. First of all, we don't see it because it's a red heart inside of a red heart. So it'll be pretty hard to see it. You see a tiny little picture of the trace line here. I don't know if you can see that. But remember, I didn't get the dots quite exactly above each other when I did the little corner up here. So it's showing a little tiny trace, and it knows they weren't together. Well, now let's go back to the program. We're going to make one little change here. Instead of this value being a 0, we're going to make it a 1. We click to activate it. Click on 1, enter. Replace that line. When you put a 1 in this position of dot A, or we could have done it to dot S, it means to draw the pattern in the opposite direction. If the first time you drew it was clockwise, because that's how it was entered, Now with the 1 there, it's going to draw it counterclockwise. This is very important because it's a way of making a hole in something like the letter A. You can make the letter A at the top where the triangle is in the A. You can use something of a reverse direction and it will make it hollow. Well, let me show you what I mean. I'm going to execute it now. Now there was the red heart, but then we drew the shape of a heart in the opposite direction. When you do that, this then becomes transparent. And what we do is we have an outline of a heart now. While programming, get information from the glossary by clicking Info. Thank you for watching.